sit comfortably. So hello everyone, and thank you for listening to me tonight. I'm going to try to keep it easy and fun. So my name is Jean-Philippe Graff, or JP, and I'm from France. So about a year and a half ago, I opened a company called JP Linguistics, and my company teaches French, Italian, and Spanish, and something I like to call the art of fitting in. So what does that mean? So if you look at my first slide, all right, so you can see the ugly duckling, which sounds way worse in English than it does in French. So here's the ugly duckling. In case you don't know the story, it's the story of this duckling that was born or put into the wrong family, and then eventually became this wonderful swan after finding his uniqueness. So one of the questions that I asked myself is, how did the ugly duckling actually fit after, leaving the nest? Like, what happened? Or more relatable to us, like, how do we fit into society after we found our life path and own uniqueness? How do we fit in New York? That's the question. So this is what I do with languages, and this is what I help other people to do with languages as well. So let me explain where it all started. So when I moved to the States after growing up in a small city in France called Nancy in the northeast by Germany, I was actually shocked by the amount of English I did not know. And mind you, I actually majored in English and had 7 years of English behind me before I came here. But then again, I was not able to communicate the most simple things. I did not even know how to say trash can, but I could say anything about Shakespeare. So I realized that there was something wrong, and then I looked at my past, and I grew up in a family. I think I have another slide. What's the next one? Yeah, so I grew up in a family. This is my mom, and I grew up in a family that was very nice, very lovely. I love them to death. My mom and I used to cook for hours. But what was cool about my mom is that she didn't teach me anything. She didn't teach me how to cook. She didn't give me any directions. All she did was giving me the ingredients, and then she told me, okay, do it. So eventually, it sounds harsh, but eventually that's how I mastered pie crust, whipped creams, and other dishes. And I loved it. This is how I think this is how I learned to cook very well. And the school system was a little different. That's what I grew up in learning English in an environment that was so strict and rigorous that, yeah, I learned, but I couldn't communicate when I went to the States, so I felt kind of ripped off. So after that, I realized that, at home I was more in experience-based learning, and then at school it was more of a theory-based learning. So I said, you know what, if I really want to master English, I have to move to the States. So here I go with my backpack and 2 suitcases. I go to the States, and I decided to do a master's degree in linguistics, and I also decided to meet my American husband. That helped a lot. So after coming to the US, and by the way, I didn't really care where I was, just wanted to be in the US, I ended up in the provincial town of DeKalb, Illinois. Which for me was the best thing ever. I know, exactly. Go for DeKalb and not say that. So I did a master's degree in linguistics and then eventually graduated. This is my graduation picture. Okay, this is amazing. And I moved to New York because New York was the only place that wanted to hire me. And so when I went to New York, I eventually taught at the French Institute Alliance Française uptown, and then I taught at NYU. And I started to work on a book with another author that's called Business Writing for Dummies. And this is at this point that I realized that I actually had a voice in the language market. So the ugly duckling within me said, oh my gosh, here are your swan feathers that are appearing. So you need to do something about this. And I decided to create JP Linguistics. So my husband and I think he's very supportive, I'm just going to tell you that. We decided to create our own language company. But so many people have language companies. Schools and private businesses have been around for years. Some of them are landmarks. And so I said, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do that's going to be so special in order for us to be, different? And then I went back to my childhood and I said, oh my gosh, my mom didn't teach me anything, but I know how to cook. So what happened? And then I realized that experience-based learning was exactly what was missing to language learning. And this is when we decided to go towards that road. And we realized that it wasn't happening in NYC. And New Yorkers do not have time to sit in a class for 10 weeks and do their homework and repeat after me and all that stuff. They're bored already. So they want to do things. You know, New Yorkers, actually, I think New Yorkers are the ugly ducklings of America. they have their own life path. The fact that we're all here tonight is actually a proof that we're the ugly ducklings of America. And this is, I love New Yorkers, I love New York, and I think this is also why working with them for so long and working with different people from different perspectives told me that it was a good thing to do. So here it is. We have a concept, but here's a problem. Technology. And I love technology, but the problem with technology is that our attention span is lowering. 6 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We only have 6 seconds of attention span. So we had to, kind of look at what was going on. And there's this little quote I would like to read from my friend Amber Case, that's a cyber anthropologist. Be ready. Memories are becoming hyperlinks to information triggered by keywords and URLs. We are becoming persistent paleontologists of our own external memories, as our brains are storing the keywords to get back to those memories and not the full memories themselves. Hashtag confusing. So this tells us pretty much that we can only remember some keywords, okay? So then we started thinking as, in terms of keywords. And then we said, okay, what makes cultures? And the first thing that came up is food. Yay, we love food. So that's when we came up with the concept of food, culture, and language, and we decided to develop full immersive programs in New York City. So here you can see our immersive program. It's called Brunch Italiano, where you learn Italian while making a full brunch for yourself. And then after that we said the sky is the limit. People love it, it's really great, it's so fun. I love it, and I think this is really great. But this brings forth some challenge, obviously, because the first round of things, nobody signs up because nobody knows you. So why would they sign up? New Yorkers, they need your trust. They need to trust you. So here it is. So we keep developing programs such as macaroon and croissant making in French, salsa dancing in Espanol, and other stuff. But the dream that we have for GP Linguistics is actually to train people how to fit into the culture and languages that they want to learn. So New Yorkers are very different, but when it comes to languages, all they want to do is fit into the new culture that they want to go to. They don't want to be the annoying tourist that cannot fit into where they're going. So they want to know what's the secrets, what's the deal. And these programs actually allow you to just do what you like to do in the language and learn how to do it properly. So the dream for GP Linguistics is to actually reduce the gap between people, culture, and languages by helping you to fit into the new culture and the new society that you would maybe want to live in, or maybe if you go outside around Little Italy, is there's Little Italy here, Chinatown down there, to fit in, you don't even need to travel, you can just go around the corner. So the question that we'd like to end up with is, sorry, I forgot to tell you that. So the question I'd like to tell you is, in what ways do you find yourself trying to fit in? And it could be in New York, it could be in your travels, but if you find it, please let me know. And if not, I'm happy to help you.